Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown, where we go over the MLB games scheduled for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab of pickdawgz.com. Also, just a couple of days left of the Christmas in July sale for my All Sports Yearly Package. So you can find that also at the Premium Picks tab of pickdawgz.com and a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for the Tuesday card in Major League Baseball. First up, the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Detroit Tigers. We've got Brandon Pfaadt and Casey Mize as the projected starters. Brandon Pfaadt was struggling quite a bit, but now you look at his last 5 games, 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of those 5, pitching 5+ innings, and his strikeout numbers have gotten a lot better as well recently. I think that the Diamondbacks are the play in this game. We thought that Mize was going to go on Monday. He's moved to Tuesday. I talked about how he really struggled in that last start against the Pirates. He was not good in his last start before the All-Star break either, giving up 6 earned runs to the Seattle Mariners. I think he regresses and continues to regress in the second half of the year. I think the Diamondbacks win this game. Give me Arizona on the money line. Next up, we've got the Rockies and the Cardinals. We got Tanner Gordon and Logan Allen as the starters. It was Tanner Gordon's first start in over a month at the Major League level against the Cardinals on July 23rd. And he pitched really well in that game. It was 6 innings, a shutout ball. Only 3 strikeouts, but 6-0 victory for Colorado. Really good outing there for Gordon. He's been solid at the Major League level this year. We've seen 3 6+ inning performances and 2 quality starts for Gordon in his 4 outings. And I think he could pitch pretty well in this game against a not-so-great Guardians offense. I also, the Rockies, their numbers against lefties have been pretty solid in the last 30 days. It's definitely important to note that a lot of those great numbers were at Coors Field and not so much on the road. But Logan Allen, his last game against the Guardians, 4 earned runs and a home run, 7 base hits in a 4-3 loss. Cleveland's now lost 4 of his last 5 games. I'm going to roll with the Rockies here, plus the 1.5 runs on the run line. Next up, the Dodgers and the Reds. We got Tyler Glasnow and Nick Lodolo as the starters. Both of these starting pitchers are in great form. They're coming off great outings. Lodolo, a complete game shutout against the Nationals, 8 strikeouts, no walks, only 4 base hits, and a 5-0 Reds win. The Reds have now won 4 of his last 5 games, including 3 straight. Tyler Glasnow, 7 innings, 1 run, 12 strikeouts against the Minnesota Twins. He's given up 2 runs combined his last 3 starts. It's tough to go against either of these starters, but the Dodgers offense, even though we talked about Glasnow giving up 2 runs combined his last 3 games, the Dodgers were 1-2 in those games. This offense has just not been the same recently, mostly against right-handed pitching, but even against lefties, while they got great power numbers, they have a very steep strikeout rate, and the OPS is about league average. And while Lodolo's been better on the road than at Great American, the hitter-friendly Great American, I still think Lodolo is pitching some of the best we've seen in his career. He's got okay numbers, a very small sample size against his current Dodgers lineup, but Tyler Glasnow against his current Reds lineup, some steep expected slugging percentage of 478, 341 xWOBA. Strikeout rate is great, but I could see the Reds finding a couple extra base hits, potentially home runs in this game, and that should be enough for a victory with with the current form of this Dodgers lineup. So give me the Cincinnati Reds on the money line, and this one at a great price. Next up, we've got the Atlanta Braves taking on the Kansas City Royals. No official starter right now for Atlanta, but we should see Seth Lugo going for KC. And Lugo just signed a big deal to extend him to 2028. Not so sure I love that deal for the Royals. As I've mentioned, I think Lugo does regress quite a bit in the second half of the season. The underlying numbers, the advanced analytics, the expected numbers are not great for Seth Lugo, really across the board. And I think that he struggles in this one. Even though the Braves have not been a great offense on the road this season, I'm looking to fade Seth Lugo right now. I just don't think he's as good as that 2.95 ERA may suggest. I think there's value on the other side right now. Give me Atlanta on the money line. Next up, we've got the Cubs and the Brewers. We've got Colin Ray and Quinn Priester as the starters. Until we see Milwaukee lose a Priester start, they've won 10 straight of his games. I can't fade Milwaukee in this one. I got to go with the Brewers on the money line. The last time that they lost a Quinn Priester start was back on May 24th, and that still was a 6-inning, 1-run, 7-strikeout performance against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's only given up more than 3 runs 3 times this season, and 2 of those starts were at the pretty much very beginning of his season back in April and May. I think that, Priester, I mean, we saw Ray pitch pretty well up until that last game against the Royals, where he got crushed. 3 home runs, 5 earned runs, and an 8-4 loss. I got to roll with the Brewers in this one. One of the most profitable pitchers in baseball is Quinn Priester. Next up, we've got the White Sox and the Phillies. We got Jesus Luzardo and Jonathan Cannon as the starters. Cannon's pitched well recently in terms of the White Sox have won a lot of his games, but he's got a 4.48 ERA in the year, a 4.9 expected ERA. I think the Phillies will be able to get to him for a few runs and add a few runs in this White Sox bullpen. But then you look at the White Sox on the other side, facing left-handed pitching in the last 30 days. They're actually number 1 in Major League Baseball in team OPS and isolated power against lefties. Facing Luzardo, who's been a little bit shaky recently. He gave up 6 runs his last game against the Red Sox, so while his strikeout numbers are there, the control is still an issue. He's had 7 walks and 3 home runs given up his last 2 games combined. Give me the over in Philadelphia, Chicago. Next up, we've got the Marlins and the Cardinals. We've got Sonny Gray and Sandy Alcantara as the starters. I think Sandy is trending in the right direction. Even in that game against the Royals where he gave up 4 runs, he was pitching well in that game, just got into some trouble in one of the innings. But, otherwise, 6 innings, just 1 run shy of a quality start. He had 4 runs given up in an 8-7 Marlins win. They've now won 3 of his last 5 games, and that includes his most recent start, which was one of his best of the season. 7 innings, no earned runs, no walks, just 1 unearned run in a 3-2 Marlins win. You look at Sonny Gray on the other side, while he's had the better season compared to Sandy, not recently. He's given up in 8 1/3 innings his last 2 games, 22 base hits, 16 runs, 14 of those were earned, 4 home runs to go with it. So I got to go with the Marlins here on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Nationals and the Astros. No official starter right now for Houston, but we should see Michael Soroka going for the Nats. Now, Soroka has pitched pretty well in his last 5 games, giving up 2 runs or fewer in 4 of those 5. The problem is the Nationals have scored a combined 7 runs in those 5 starts, so they're 0-5 in those 5 games. I think we see the under hit. I think the Nationals are going to be competitive, though, in this game, as I think Soroka continues to pitch well. He is somebody that we mentioned at a steep ERA, still 4.85 on the season, but the advanced analytics and the expected numbers are definitely on his side. He's been one of the more unlucky pitchers in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. I think he is definitely going to get traded at the deadline, and I think whoever gets him is going to pick up a really good arm in their rotation. So this could very well be his last start as a National. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get scratched before this game if a move is made. But if he is the starter, I look for a low-scoring game and one that the Nationals compete in. Next up, we've got the Rangers and the Angels. We got Patrick Corbin and Yusei Kikuchi as the starters, pair of lefties in this one. And neither team has been excellent against lefties in the last month, but the Angels definitely have the better power numbers, and Kikuchi's been a lot better at Angel Stadium than he's been on the road. Wasn't his best start at home in his last game against the Mariners, but I think he pitches well against a Rangers team. It's pretty consistently this year struggled against left-handed pitching. We talked about Kikuchi's numbers at home, 63 2/3 innings, a 2.26 home ERA compared to 4.27 on the road. I think Corbin is vulnerable in this one. I think the Angels, like I said, good power numbers against left-handed pitching. They match up pretty well with Corbin, and in the previous meetings, Corbin doesn't have the best numbers against his current Angels lineup. In 111 plate appearances, pretty low strikeout rate, and expected slugging percentage of .432, xWOB at .345. It's actually pretty similar numbers to Kikuchi against the current Rangers lineup, but Kikuchi's got a much higher strikeout rate, and like I said, this year's Rangers team is not too great against lefties, so I'm going to roll with the Angels in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Mets and the Padres. We got Sean Manaea and Yu Darvish as the starters. The Mets have to be pretty excited with the results they're seeing from Manaea, returning from the injury, putting together in his first 3 games, 12 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs, and 18 strikeouts. Now, the Mets did lose 2 of those 3 games to the Royals and the Reds, but he has pitched really well, and he's facing a Padres team that's definitely improved their numbers against lefties. They haven't been the best lineup against left-handers this season, but they're in top 5 right now in team OPS in the last month. So it's definitely not an easy matchup, but I think the Mets are going to give Manaea some run support against Darvish, who is really struggling in his first few games back from the injury, giving up a total of 8 runs his last game and 2 home runs to go with it. So he's got an ERA above 9. I got to roll the Mets in this one on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Seattle Mariners and the Athletics. We've got Logan Evans and Luis Severino as the starters. Evans got a 3.64 ERA, but an expected ERA in the mid-5s. I think there's big time regression concerns for Evans going forward, and now pitching in one of the more hitter-friendly ballparks in baseball against an A's team that offensively in the last 5 games has been outstanding. I think Evans is in big trouble in this game. I think it's at least, promising to see Severino in his last home game. Despite giving up 5 total runs, only one of those was earned, and he had 8 strikeouts in that game against the Blue Jays, a team that does not strike out much at all. So I think Severino is trending in the right direction. I think he gets a lot of run support. Give me the A's on the money line. Next up, we've got the Rays and the Yankees. We got Joe Boyle and Max Fried as the projected starters. I was actually really excited for Joe Boyle to be a member of the Rays because this is somebody I think has a lot of potential at the major league level, whether it's as a starter, but really I think more so as an extended reliever, maybe even a closing pitcher at some point. He's got great velocity on his fastball. He's got great strikeout stuff. The control has been a problem for him at the major league level so far in his career, but I think he's done a little bit better of a job. And like I said, I'm happy he was a Ray because the Rays do such a good job with their pitching prospects. I mean, we've seen so many good pitchers, young pitchers, develop in this organization, and then a lot of times they leave the organization because they have to get paid. But when you look at the matchup here, I think Boyle can pitch pretty well. I think Fried also has a great game against this Rays lineup that's not been great against lefties. I think we go under the total with the Yankees' victory in the end, so give me the Yankees in the under. Next up, we've got the Pirates and the Giants. We've got Bailey Falter and Justin Verlander as the starters. And Justin Verlander finally got the W in that last game against the Braves. He went 5 innings of no-run baseball, but 5 walks to go with it in a 9-3 Giants win. So the control is still an issue, but definitely a good sign to see Verlander pick up that win and the losing streak that the Giants had in his starts. Doesn't change the fact that he's been one of the least profitable pitchers in baseball, and Bailey Falter has honestly been the opposite. I mean, even though I've mentioned the expected numbers aren't the best, and there are some significant regression concerns in Falter's game, he has been one of the rare starting pitchers for the Pirates that has a winning record on the year, 7-5. And while they've lost 3 of his last 4 games, overall this season they've won a majority of his starts. And when you're a team that's got a record like the Pirates do, well below 500. That does say something, and Falter's got a sub-4 ERA. He's coming off a good outing. He's facing a Giants team that's been miserable against left-handed pitching the last few months, and I still don't love Verlander on the other side for San Francisco. So give me the Pirates in this one on the money line at a decent price. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab, pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.